What is up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a story time, my labor and delivery story time, and it's going to be brief because I need to hurry up. Before we even get into this video, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that has sent me their prayers. The love and the prayers, they've been like overwhelming. I've gotten like an influx of love and, you know, just love and prayers and congratulatory messages from you guys, and thank you so much for that. I appreciate each and every one of them. I literally cannot reply all the comments. I mean, I can within the space of a week, but thank you very much. My vlog started on a Sunday, right? I woke up that Sunday. I didn't go to church. Don't ask me why I didn't go to church, because I don't have an answer for it. Nobody was at home. I was the only one at home, and I just really, all through last week, the previous week, I already had this feeling that I was going to give birth the next week. So I was kind of trying to hurry up and get everything together because I didn't want my baby to just drop and catch me on the way and be like surprise shawty. That Sunday I woke up, I said I am going to be productive today. I was going to film a nursery tour. I was going to film what's in my hospital bag. I was going to do a story time. That miscarriage, almost having a miscarriage story time, I was going to film all those three in one day. I didn't care. Nobody was going to tell me anything. So immediately I stood up. I said, okay, let me go to use the bathroom and just get started. I got to the bathroom. After using the bathroom, I wanted to clean up. What did I see? I saw blood mixed with mucus. I'm like, mucus. I saw blood mixed with mucus. And I'm like, now hold on.
Well, hold on on that. Hold on. Now hold on.
No, this is not happening. This is not happening to me. You sneaky baby. I called my husband. I was like, oh, see what just happened. I thought I was joking. For some reason he thought I was joking. Say, is this one of your pranks or jokes? Be serious. I'm like, why would I be joking with this kind of thing? You and I know that I want to extend this labor. Like I'm not ready. Like I was praying to be one of those women that will give birth at 42 weeks. He was like, yeah, you're right. Do you want me to come back? I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm good. Go, let me call the hospital first. So I called the hospital and they told me, it's just your mucus plug that you lost and it's nothing. So they told me what I was going to look out for. The woman asked me if I'm having contraction. I was like, I don't know if I'm having contraction. She was like, believe me, if you're having contraction, you will know. You'll not even be able to talk. And boy, was she right. But I was able to eat. So I was like, you know what? I can probably still do it today. So I hurriedly did my makeup, took some pictures, and then I went downstairs to film what's in my hospital bag video. And while I was filming, I started having contraction. I was like, it's about to go down. All through that day, let me tell you all something. I was ignoring my contraction like a deadbeat father ignores his responsibility. If I'm having contraction, I'll be like, oh baby, I'm not even here. I'm hallucination.
Baby, I'm not even here. I'm a hallucination.
I was just chilling and I was having contraction, but they were not that severe, but they were severe. They were like really painful cramps. After everything, I only succeeded in filming just what's in my hospital bag before I got really tired. And I was like, Chisom, you cannot deny the fact that you are about to give birth, so you might as well get rest. Don't stress yourself, then you go into active labor. From there, it will not be as if you do not get any rest at all. Get your final rest before the storm comes. So I dropped everything I wanted to do, had my bath, and just started resting basically. In the night, as we were about to, around 12-ish, we were about to go to bed. We were about sleeping off. Then next thing, it felt as if I was peeing. It felt as if somebody was using my vagina to pee, because I was not the one peeing, to be honest. I was not the one doing the peeing. So it was just rushing out and I was not even putting in effort. So when I stood up, I was like, damn. I now called my husband like, guy, I think my water broke. He was like, are you sure? I'm like, are you asking me, am I sure? Tell me why I shouldn't throw this drink in your bitch ass face.
Tell me why I shouldn't throw this drink in your bitch ass face.
I told him, okay, let me tell you the truth now. I have been having contractions since. I just didn't want to tell you. Moving on, I turned on the light. I saw it. That I even took a picture of it. I'm not going to insert it here because ew. I sent to my friend Anita, sent to our group chat, my friend's group chat. I was like, Anita, see, is this? She now said, yes, your water just broke. I was like, oh my god, she is getting real. It's getting real.
Shit is real. Shit is getting real.
Oh my god. Called the hospital and they told me I should start coming in now. Immediately my water broke, I stopped having contraction, right? So when I got out, I got to the hospital. They checked. They first gave me pad to wear so that it can catch anything that drops, so that they will check it and see if it's actually that my water that broke or just pee, right? I was like, oh my god, is it possible that I just pee and I came? Just imagine me going to the hospital that my water broke and they end up telling me, oh, it's just pee. Oh my god, this is so humiliating. This is so humiliating. I was praying, oh my god, let it be my water that broke. So I kept on I wore the pad for some time. They checked it. They said they couldn't confirm if it was my water that broke. They are doing it that way so that they will avoid inserting their hands inside me and causing confusion, causing infection. So they didn't have any other option than to insert their hands. So they did it and found out that it was my water that broke. And they asked me if I was having contraction. I told them no. I said, since I'm not having contraction, that means I'm not in active labor. Give me two options. Either I stay, they will induce me and I'll give birth, or I'll go home, wait for 24 hours for my body to go into labor naturally. If my body doesn't go into labor naturally, then I'll have to come back to the hospital, because once it exceeds 24 hours, I might get an infection. So I'll have to go back to the hospital so that they will induce me. I was like, oh, okay, I prefer going back home. And I know my body would go into labor, because what is my body waiting for? The water that is protecting it has broken. That thing is labor. Like, take the cue. I knew my body would take the cue and go into labor, right? So I was like, I'm going home. I don't want to stay here. So they gave me a list of things. If my temperature is higher than this, I should start coming. If my labor should start being 5 minutes apart and 1 minute long, my contraction should start being 5 minutes apart and 1 minute long, I should immediately, you know, get my ass to the hospital. And they told me I should not use a tampon, I should not have sexual intercourse. I'm like, sexual intercourse? Who is talking about that right now? Like, are you joking? So they told me things to not do in order not to have an infection. So I went home. All through, and I tell you, all through that night I was having contractions, but they were not consistent. But I was so determined to sleep, because I know I would not get another opportunity to sleep before this baby comes. And I was right. I was right. And the next morning I woke up, I was like, do you know what, today I'm just going to just relax. I'm not going to, you know, people who walk out upside down just increase their contraction to go to the hospital. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to relax, man. I'm just going to relax. What I know is that if my body doesn't go into labor, they're going to induce me, and so there's no need for me to stress myself. I'm already going to stress when I get to the hospital. So all I did was relax. I made something to eat, just settled down, ate the food, was watching, what movie was I watching then? What show was I watching? I was watching, hey, what was the name of? Squid Game. I was watching Squid Game. That was what I was watching, waiting for my constant contractions to be, you know, persistent. That was, I sat there all through the day until I was ready to, you know, stand up and go to the hospital. So at night, I was just chilling around 8, around 9. I was just chilling. I'm like, okay, let me just eat something, because I know I might not get an opportunity to eat before I give birth, and if I eat any later than this, I might, you know, I don't want to poop. I don't want to poop while I'm pushing. So my husband fixed something for me to eat. As I was eating, I noticed that because I was timing my contraction, I noticed that my contractions started becoming stronger and this thing. But I was like, hey God, I must finish. You see this food, me and you, I must finish you. Contraction will come, I'll scream. I was screaming, but my consolation is that at the end, once the contraction goes up and comes down, that there is food waiting for me down. So I was taking the contraction like a G. So when I was done eating, even to go up, climb up the stairs to get what I needed to get, although things, we didn't even take it out of the car anymore, but there are certain things I left upstairs. So I wanted to go upstairs, I couldn't climb up because it was too much. So my husband had to go get it for me. So we entered the car and we left. See, let me tell you something, people say your body forgets the pain after labor. This my body did not forget. I can still remember that labor pain. Oh my God, it is painful. It is very painful. I've had an ear infection before. When I had that ear infection, I was like, there's nothing as painful as this thing. Labor is not painful. There's nothing until I jam labor. Labor told me, before you frustrate me, I must frustrate you.
Before you frustrate me, I will frustrate you.
You come into the hospital, you go to a place, you tell them they've already pre-registered me, so they told me I should wait for a nurse. While I was even waiting there, I was waiting, I was having contraction. Oh God, even when they will ask me my name, what's your name, I want to say Chisom, to come and be like, I was in so much pain, and my husband was now micromanaging my contraction. He'll be like, when I start, he'll be like, breathe, focus on your breathing. I'll be like, what do you mean breathe? Don't ask me to breathe. Don't ask me to breathe. Hey yo, bring me a shot.
What do you mean breathe? Don't tell me to breathe. I can't be. Yo, bring me a shot. Bring me a shot.
I was in severe pain. I was in gut-wrenching pain. With the kind of pain I was in, I thought I'll be like 5 centimeters dilated. That's how the nurse checked, and I was 2 to 3 centimeters dilated. I was like, huh? So there is more where that came from. And you have to be like 4 centimeters dilated before they give you epidural. I thought once I come to the hospital, boom, because I'm dilated too much, they'll give me epidural. Whoop. So they put me in a room where you have to wait and go through your labor, your contraction, until you get to that 4 centimeters. But the nurse did something for me. The nurse gave me an injection that would like literally make me be on cloud 9, so that even if I was in pain, my body would not really be that present for the pain. Even though the pain was paining, my body would forget it immediately after the pain because I was so high. Then set me up in a warm bathtub. That was why I couldn't film there, because I was like butt naked, so there was nothing to film. So I was just there. As before you know it, I was in so much pain that I almost passed out. Then next thing I know, I threw up 2 times while I was waiting for the epidural because the pain. You know when you're in so much pain, so all the rice I ate just came out of me. I was like, hey, see my hard work. So the nurse now came back to check after like, let's say how many hours? Let's say 4 hours. 3 hours. I don't know how long it was, man, but to me it was like forever. The nurse now came back to check my cervix and found out that I was 5 centimeters dilated, which was like, handle, let's go upstairs and put epidural on you. I was like, I was so happy. The nurse gave me that hospital robe. They put me in a wheelchair and just wheeled me upstairs where I would deliver. So when we got to the room, I was still in so much pain. I didn't know what was happening, and they came to put the epidural, and that was like, oh my God, that was, I think, probably the roughest part of my labor to me was the inserting of the epidural, because they said I had slight scoliosis and my this was not straight for them to put the epidural. So they told me to stay in a particular position, right? And when they're putting it, even if I'm going through contraction, that I should not shake. How is that possible? So like I was so bent like this. I'm going through contraction. I'll not be screaming, but in one place. Like, it took a long time before they could find. In fact, the two, I don't know whether they are nurses or something, couldn't find it. They had to call a doctor, like a specialist, to come and find where they can put this thing, the spine, where they can put the epidural. And finally, when they put it, it not even stay up to. In fact, in my next 3 after I had 2 contractions that were intense. The next one you just reduced. Hey, that was when I was able to pull out my camera to even talk to you guys. After they gave me the epidural, the itching, oh my god, I was scratching like a crackhead, like somebody that took something that they're not supposed to take. I was scratching up. I almost stopped the epidural because the scratching was too much. So the nurse now gave me something that reduced. So after they gave me epidural and the pain subsided, the nurse gave me one advice. The nurse told me, sleep. Sleep. Told both of us we should sleep, because this is the last opportunity we have to sleep peacefully. And you know, as an obedient girl that I am, I accepted and took them. You don't even have to tell me 2 times, girl, I'm out of here, gone. I was sleeping and the nurse only came back. The nurse was in the room, but the nurse only wake me up for me to go and pee and to check my cervix and see how many centimeters dilated that I was. So the nurse will come, check, I'll go and pee. And peeing, going to pee was another issue. I couldn't for the life of me remember how to pee. Everywhere down there was numb. I couldn't feel anything. So in order to push to pee was so difficult for me. The nurse was like, don't worry, we'll just insert a catheter or whatever they call that thing inside you and it will collect your pee. I was like, thank God though, because I cannot be stressing myself. I don't remember it. I would say I went upstairs around 1. So from 1 to I became 10 centimeters dilated around 7. Let's say 7. So I was, you understand? I was at 10 centimeters dilated. It's not even when you become dilated that you push. You have to wait. They have to keep looking until they see the baby's head come down to a particular level or something. Then it will be time to push. And that one took up to like an hour for it to happen. So I started waiting for the doctor, and the doctor was not around. And the doctor was already in the hospital, but delivering a lot of people. Was delivering like other of her patients. So I had to wait my turn. So they started waiting until they found out that my baby's heart rate started spiking up. I'm like, are we going to wait for this doctor? Then me, I started having fever. I've clearly gotten infection. So I started having fever, shaking and throwing up. Since it's been more than 24 hours since my water broke, and they've been touching me and inserting their hands inside me, I've clearly had an infection. So I was having fever and shaking and throwing up. So the nurse was like, you know what, we are going to start pushing because your baby's heart rate is going up. The nurse told me, then I started pushing. You saw now, the nurse coached me on how to push, and the nurse was like, we are going to push for 1 hour. I was like, 1 hour? I thought it was like push. Next thing, baby come out. Why are you telling me 1 hour? You're lying. Are you lying to me? Because of that, me, I relaxed now. When they tell me to push, I'll be like, because we are not going anywhere since it's 1 hour. And I literally wanted to wait for the doctor to come. Although the nurse said I'll just push for 1 hour, I didn't push for up to 30 minutes because I knew how to push. So I didn't push for up to like 30 minutes and the baby just boom. What's up, shorty? Hey God, when I didn't even know what was happening. All I know that I was going to push. I was waiting for the 1 hour mark now so that the baby will come out. So I didn't think the baby was going to come out under 20 minutes. So that was why I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, she's coming out. So I heard somebody like, the head, he said, you want to touch her? I was like, she's coming out. was like, she's coming out. I was like, oh girl, I thought you were going to wait. The doctor was there like, yeah, do you want to pull her out yourself? I'm like, no ma'am, I don't want to do that. No ma'am, no ma'am. Immediately they dropped the baby on top of me. First thing I noticed that the baby was not moving, nothing. The baby was not breathing, nothing. The baby, I would touch the baby's hand, baby be like this. I thought to nurse, like, she's not moving. I was like, ha, not me laboring in vain. Not me laboring in vain. Oh my God, where are you? I looked at the nurse, was like, she's not moving. The doctor was like, don't worry, we are going to get her back up. I'm like, you're going to get her back up? Is she a battery? Is she an engine? Yo, my baby's not moving and you're using technical terms. Immediately they rang the alarm and they came and dropped the baby. One thing that all the nurses and doctors just rushed in there and studying whatever they were doing, and immediately I heard her voice, I heard her cry. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, I was so relieved. I'm like, girl, this stretch mask needs to have an evidence. You are going home with me.
You're coming home with me.
After everything, they just brought her. I was so happy. But another thing is that once they brought her, I didn't know how to carry her. I was lying down. I didn't know how to keep her head, how to touch her hand, nothing. I just was like, how do we carry her? How do I carry her? Like, what's going on here? What am I supposed to do? The nurse literally had to teach me how to carry the baby. It was rough. They had to give her sugar in her mouth due to she had low she had low sugar. She was one with low sugar, so they had to give her sugar in her mouth to get her started. All in all, it ended in praise, and I did not labor in vain. That's my labor and delivery story. I know it is uneventful, but yeah, whatever, that's what you'll get. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.